Yo, yo, what's up? It's your boy Cups the Universe. You already know. AKA P. Mossberg, AKA Poet Lounge. This is a marvelous conversation, another extraordinary ponderation. Yo, that thing that happened to with the two guys, with the security, with the store owner and the guy that came behind the counter to fight or whatever, and then he ended up getting murdered. First of all, rest in peace to him. Rest in peace to him as a person, as a brother, and my condolences to his family. And I kind of can understand where the store owner also is coming from. But check this out. Everybody is wondering, right? This is gonna prove New York City. This is gonna prove the police system, the judges, the courts. This is gonna prove everything. First thing is that he has a bail. They haven't been giving anybody charged with murder bails. They gave him a bail. But listen, check it out. This is what I want to say. I don't want to go personal with it because some people are gonna say, "Well, he's the store owner, and he's right." And then some people are gonna say, "Well, son was only protecting his BM and his kids and some sort," right? I can see both arguments. But check it out. In New York City, there are no there are no self-defense laws in New York City, period. So that means that man, because he had a weapon and the other person didn't have a weapon, that means murder won. Because he's a store owner, they're probably going to give him manslaughter. He's probably going to get sentenced to like 15 years. He's probably going to do 5 years and do 10 years on parole. Right? Now, let's just sum that up. Right now, you don't have to wait for the news to tell you whether he's going to get a murder charge or not. It's a murder charge. But he might get a manslaughter charge. Manslaughter charge is if you murder somebody with your bare hands. Murder one charge is when you murder somebody with a weapon. But he might get a manslaughter charge because he was a business owner. Now, even in a state with self-defense, why wouldn't that man get self-defense? Because this is that real. There's rules of engagement. The man that came, the brother that came to attack that man was in the wrong. He shouldn't have did that, right? That man's an old man and all that, right? But he did it with his hands. He pushed the man with his hands. Now, another thing to look at. When the man came inside of the booth where he was working at, the door was to the back of the guy that came in. The worker was between the guy that came in and the wall. The door was behind the guy. You see what I'm saying? When the guy pushed him into the wall, the old guy ran past that man to get the knife. And then turned back around and came back into the fight. So you see why there's no self-defense there? Because if you was in fear of your life, you got past the man, you could have ran out the store. Cops looking at it like you should have got out the store, called us. You know, that's how they always look at it. Self-defense is when somebody is attacking you and you keep trying to get away and you have no choice. But then it's like self-defense also deals with the extremes. So it's like basically what I mean by that is saying, okay, if a man attacks you with his hands, your self-defense is using your hands. You can't pick up a rock and bust him in the head with the rock. You can't hit him with the bat because that makes you the aggressor. That makes you the assaultee or the assaulter. Should I say it? Sorry. Makes you the person assaulting the other person. self-defense. If a person has a knife, then that means you should use a knife. Well, if a person is in a gun state, technically your gun is like any weapon that's deadly force, right? Any weapon, knife, whatever, you can shoot. But technically it's even. So it's like if a person get a knife, then you shouldn't shoot him. You see what I'm saying? It's weird, but you can shoot him because a knife is dangerous. But if a person is unarmed, you can't shoot him and say it was self-defense. And when a person is unarmed, you can't say you stabbed him and it was self-defense. You see what I'm saying? So basically, long story short, even in a state that was self-defense friendly, he went and had got the self-defense charge because he had a chance to escape and he didn't. If he was in fear for his life, he got past the guy after first initial push. So he was supposed to continue moving. And then if the guy, like, if he would have ran out and grabbed the knife and kept running, and that man would have chased him, and maybe he would have just turned around and it was that maybe. But like I said, in New York City, there is no self-defense law. Now, in New York City, what actually happens, or what they do with store owners is, when two people come into a store, let's say they come to rob the store, and the store owner and the two people get into a shootout. And one of the persons that came in the store got away. And in the exchange of gunfire in the shootout between the store owner and the guy that came in the store, whatever, one of them, the guy that came in the store gets killed. So what police do in New York City is they won't charge the store owner with that murder. They would go find the other person that was involved in that crime and charge him with the murder. Basically, somebody gets charged with murder. There's not a dead body on the street that they don't try to charge somebody with the murder. Basically. Because there is no such thing as self-defense in New York City. So another thing is, if they decide to say, okay, you can legally carry concealed weapons in New York City, because I heard something like that. But if that's the case, and there is no self-defense laws on the books, then that's a setup. Because if you use your weapon, you're still going to be charged with manslaughter. It's the law. You see what I'm saying? Like, in their law, they're going to charge you with manslaughter because there's no self-defense. So even if you was in the street and you shooting, they're going to still charge you with a manslaughter. Because it's like, there is no self-defense laws. You see what I'm saying? No matter what. In New York City. So New York City might need to change some self-defense laws. You know what I'm saying? In order to make it a little more easy for people to defend themselves. Now, I'm not saying for everybody to try to go out there and use deadly force and lethal force, but you know what I'm saying? So the store owner was wrong in the sense that he could have escaped. And he didn't. He grabbed the knife and he turned around and he ran back into the conflict with the knife. Bad choice, brother. Bad choice. It's all on camera, brother. You see what I'm saying? So even though that store owner, most people gonna say, well, he had the right because that guy went back there, he pushed him, and this guy is 60-something years old. Yeah. But being older, he should have known. If I stab this young man, I got to deal with the consequences. This young man is not armed. And now, if the young man would have brandished a weapon, like I said before, they might have like charged his baby mother with the murder because she was in the store, and they're gonna say, okay, well, she called him to come defend her rights. So that's how the law works, bro. You see what I'm saying? But because the old man was the one that murdered dude and dude died, they're going to call that murder, bro, because he ran and got the knife and they turned around and came right back at the guy. At this point, the self-defense would have been on the black man because the black man was unarmed. So if the black man would have picked up a bottle that was behind the counter while he was fighting the store owner with the knife, and he would have hit the old man in the head with the bottle, that would have been more self-defense than The old man saying he pushed me, so I ran and got a knife and came back and attacked that man. You see what I'm saying? So I just wanted to clarify that up for y'all. There is no such thing as self-defense in New York City. I don't give a fuck what. You see what I'm saying? So if they like you, they'll charge you with manslaughter, even if you shoot somebody. If they don't like you, it's murder one. You see what I'm saying? Period. Now, the fact that he got a bond and they lower his bail from 100,000 to 50,000 just so his peoples could bail him out is because they know that those people are all store owners, so that money is legal money. With people like myself and brothers that I know and people that I don't know but look like me, a lot of times they try to say that the money is not accounted for. So they don't be wanting you to bail out because they feel like the money that you're using to bail out is drug money or, you know what I'm saying, some form of money that's come from illegal activities that, you know, they can't account for. So that's why that little thing happened and why the man is out on bond now. But that man might have to do some time. I'm just going to tell you right now, for anybody that's like, Dag, they hope the store owner, and anybody that owns a store, take notes of this. In New York City, take notes of this. You cannot run past a man that pushed you in your thing. The door's right there, so if you was really scared for your life, you could have ran up out of there. You can't grab the knife behind the dude after you run past the initial push and then turn around and come back to him and stab him and kill him. You can't. You just can't do it. I don't care. Now, in another country, yeah, maybe. But not in New York. Not in New York City. You see what I'm saying? So I just want y'all to get that understanding that, you know, he's going to have to do some time. It's a murder charge, but they're going to give him manslaughter in the second degree. That's how that goes. Murder in the second, manslaughter. You feel me? Yo, it's your boy Cups the Universe, a.k.a. Pete Mossberg, a.k.a. Poet Lounge. You already know. I just wanted to put my little 2 cents on that, knowing a little bit about the laws in New York City. And you already know, I'm out. Peace.